Hello and welcome everybody. We have the 1.02 patch notes. There was a small revision at 5 UTC. Let's start with it. So major updates, this patch adds the headgear visibility option, private storage expansion up to 1000 slots on the Grain Main Camp's expansion level, and additionally for those who preferred the previous movement controls, a movement controls options has been added along with further control related improvements. So let's get right into it. The availability on Steam, PC and Mac, PlayStation and Xbox, it is all available now. Epic Games Store, the patch is also available now at this time. The Mac App Store, however, will be available at a later time. Content-wise, depending on your progress on the Grey Main Camp expansion, the capacity of your private storage can now be increased from 240 slots up to a maximum of 1,000. Through the expansion of your camp, which consists of 5 stages in total, you can expand your private storage as follows. You start with 240 slots, get another 100 on the first expansion, another 100 on the second, third, and fourth, and then final camp expansion is plus 360 slots. They also added an Abyss Nexus in Payloon. They improved the visibility of explosive barrels when using the light reflection or when shining a lantern on them. They fixed an issue with combat missions where comrades would not return until the mission timer expired if the mission was completed before the time limit. They also fixed an issue with the Abyss puzzles. Puzzle state would reset when viewing detailed information of nodes via the map details menu while in the Abyss. They fixed an issue where characters would become invisible if an Abyss artifact was obtained before the Abyss completion cutscene played. They also fixed an issue where the skills Healing Force Palm and Aerial Force Palm were also reset when resetting all skills. They changed the design of certain gimmick monsters. They also added one new armor set and helmet for cats. Improved the Abyss Sky Gates so that restored gates can be teleported to. This change was applied in the previous patch. They also fixed an issue where the bank investment refresh time would remain stuck in refreshing state and not updated. This was added at the 5 UTC. Controls and combat, they added a movement controls option. The option can be selected via the main menu, others, settings, input, movement controls, and offers 2 options, the basic and classic. The detailed descriptions can be found in the in-game options menu. Basic movement controls, hold the sprint key to accelerate, and the classic one is repeatedly press the sprint key to accelerate. The stamina consumption for mounts has also been adjusted. With basic movement controls, holding the sprint key consumes stamina at set intervals. With the classic movement controls, stamina is consumed each time the sprint key is pressed. Improved the conditions for using the Abyss Nexus, allowing them to be used even while moving slightly, except in certain situations such as while mounted or while using flight. They do plan to improve this further in the near future so that player characters can fast travel while on certain mounts. They also improved so that the flight skill can be activated even when holding the jump key in mid-air. Improved responsiveness when inputting a jump after an attack. Added an escape key guide when affected by elemental status effects. They fixed an issue where the focus state would not be cancelled when using aerial roll during flight, and they fixed an issue where weapons could not be drawn inside Demoness Castle under certain conditions. Further, they fixed an issue where some bosses would teleport too far away during combat. Fixed an issue where the double boost horse ability would not activate properly. They also fixed an issue where parry would not activate properly during focus when a two-handed sword was equipped. Fixed an issue where the camera would turn towards nearby enemies when aiming with a tool. Fixed an issue where certain interactions were unavailable while certain specific tools were equipped. Fixed an issue where repeatedly pressing the sprint key would allow a horse to run at maximum speed regardless of its stats. Quest-wise, they fixed an issue in Chapter 6 where quest progression became unavailable after defeating a boss following a save load under certain conditions. They also fixed an issue where quest progression became unavailable if a related item was sold before the starting a rumor fueled by greed quest. They also fixed an issue in Chapter 11 where the inserted key could disappear from the bag, preventing quest progression. NPC and Diaglogue, they fixed an issue where certain quest-related NPCs would not appear. UI fixes and improvements. They improved the item use notification in the bottom right corner, so that using it will select the item directly. Improved the shop UI so that sellable items are prioritized on display. Reorganized certain positions and content of key guide displayed in the bottom right corner to improve visibility. They improved the UI so that the save game and load game menus are separated and added a save slot number labels. Fixed an issue where the minimap scale would reset while riding a mount at maximum speed. Keyboard and mouse, they fixed an issue where the mouse cursor would disappear in the storage menu. Fixed an issue where item movement would not work properly when entering the horse inventory. Fixed an issue where certain menus would occasionally not respond to interaction or appear visibly awkward. Fixed an issue where the crashes occurred when entering or using some UI menus in certain circumstances. They also improved the game so that still weapon key guide is displayed while in combat when mounted. Graphics and settings, they added a headgear visibility option in the settings under the language and gameplay. The following options are available to choose from: always show in combat, hide in cutscenes, and always hide. Additionally, a feature to hide weapons shown in the character's back, which many have requested, is also planned to be added in the near future. PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, they improved the FSR upscaling quality. On PC, they also applied the FSR SDK 2.2. They improved the FSR frame generation quality on PC, fixed an issue where the GPU memory usage would increase when the DLSSRR option was configured. They improved GPU load and shimmering in certain circumstances for the FSR-RR and DLSSRR enabled. They also fixed an issue where foliage and certain other elements were not rendered properly in ray tracing reflections when these options were enabled. Fixed an issue where the top of the screen would flicker when DLAA and HDR options were enabled. Fixed a rendering issue affecting the character's face indoors when the graphics preset was set to low. PlayStation 5, they applied the upgraded PSSR sharpen feature on PlayStation 5 Pro, improving image sharpness. They also applied the PSSR native AA to quality mode on PlayStation 5 Pro. On Xbox, they fixed an issue where VSync behavior would change when pressing the home button, and they added a 4K upscaling options to performance mode on Xbox Series X. Performance stability and gameplay, they fixed several stability and performance optimization and crash issues across PC, console, and Mac. Localization, they fixed various localization errors, so pretty much languages. Others, they fixed an issue where certain walls and corridors of the void were missing. They also improved the sound so that the sound position changes together with the camera perspective, fixed various other issues. And talking about other issues, they fixed an issue where the weapon would not be visible when using the stab ability while unarmed, was equipped as a secondary weapon. They also improved the UI so that the license information can be viewed in the credits. Fixed an issue where the audio volume would become low when an NPC won in the minigames such as Duel. Fixed an issue where the background audio would become distorted in certain locations and situations. I actually had that happen. And again, a reminder, if you have any known issues, you can check the known issues and report issues that you might be having. And let us continue to have fun in Pi Well.